Hello, Gooners, and welcome back to Arsenal Daily News, where we bring you the most comprehensive Arsenal coverage on YouTube. If you're just joining us, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because what I am about to share with you is absolutely massive for our title race. We are just hours away from one of the biggest matches of our entire season. Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium on Thursday evening, and I have got exclusive lineup predictions, breaking injury updates, and some incredible news that could swing this title race firmly in our favor. Before I reveal everything, let me tell you why this video is essential viewing for every Arsenal supporter. We have got two separate reports from Football London insiders Tom Canton and Ryan Taylor with their predicted starting 11s. We have got fresh injury news from the final training session at London Coney. We have got updates on players returning from rest, players returning from injury, and some genuinely game-changing information about Liverpool's absences that you need to hear. Here is what makes this match absolutely crucial. Arsenal are sitting at the top of Premier League table, and Liverpool represent one of our trickiest remaining fixtures this season. But here's the kicker. We have benefited from an extra 24 hours of rest compared to our opponents. While Arne Slot watched his Liverpool side concede a late equalizer at Fulham on Sunday, MIKEL ARTETA was able to rotate his squad against Bournemouth and rest key players. That freshness advantage could be the difference in a match of this magnitude. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about our injury situation? Who is fit? Who is available? And most importantly, what is our strongest possible lineup to face the Reds? Well, I have got all those answers for you, and some of this news is going to get you seriously excited. The headline story, and this is huge, Gabriel Magalhaes and Declan Rice are both back fit and firing. Both players scored in our 3-2 victory over Bournemouth, and those training images from Wednesday morning showed them looking absolutely dialed in and ready for battle. We also have Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard fresh and raring to go after being rested at the weekend. And perhaps most significantly, we have a fully fit Martin Odegaard running the show, our captain back to his absolute best. But it gets even better when you look at Liverpool's situation. Mohamed Salah is not available for this match. Alexander Isak is also missing. Hugo Ekitike is a major doubt. These are not fringe players we're talking about. These are absolutely crucial attacking weapons that Liverpool will be without. When you factor in our extra rest, our returning stars, and their depleted squad, you start to realize just how golden this opportunity is. Now, there are some injury concerns for Arsenal that we need to address. Ricardo Calafiori and Christian Mosquera have both been ruled out of Thursday's clash, though Mikel Arteta has suggested they could be back pretty soon. Max Dowman is also absent through injury. But here's the intriguing part. Kai Havertz, who missed the Bournemouth match due to load management, was spotted training on Wednesday morning and could be available for selection. The big tactical question that everyone is asking is who leads the line for Arsenal. Both Tom Canton and Ryan Taylor have Victor Gyökeres in their predicted starting 11, though Ryan Taylor mentions there is definitely a strong chance that Mikel Merino could play that striker role. This is the kind of decision that could define the match, and I am going to break down both options for you in detail. In this video, I am going to walk you through both predicted lineups position by position. I am going to explain the tactical thinking behind each selection. I am going to analyze what Liverpool's absences mean for how we should approach this game. And I am going to give you my own thoughts on what Mikel Arteta should do to secure all 3 points and tighten our grip on the Premier League title. This is not just another match preview. This is a deep dive into the team news, the tactical battles, and the selection dilemmas that could determine whether Arsenal take a giant step towards a Premier League trophy or let our rivals back into the title race. Every decision Arteta makes on Thursday evening matters. Every player he selects has to deliver. This is when champions are made. So get comfortable, because we are about to break down everything you need to know about Arsenal versus Liverpool. The good news, the concerns, the opportunities, and the predictions that could shape our entire season. This is Arsenal Daily News, and this is your complete guide to the biggest match of our campaign so far. Let's dive in. Hello, Gooners, and welcome back to Arsenal Daily News. Today we have some absolutely massive team news to discuss ahead of what could be one of the most important matches of our entire season. Arsenal versus Liverpool is coming up on Thursday evening, and the lineup decisions Mikel Arteta makes could determine whether we strengthen our grip at the top of the Premier League table or let our rivals back into the title race. Before we dive deep into the tactical analysis and predicted lineups, let me set the scene for you. This is not just any match. This is Arsenal, sitting pretty at the top of the Premier League, facing Liverpool in what the article describes as one of our trickiest remaining fixtures this season. We have already played Aston Villa twice this season, so getting a result here in our second meeting with the Reds will be absolutely huge for maintaining our buffer at the summit. Now, the timing of this match works massively in our favor, and I will explain why. Arsenal beat Bournemouth at the weekend, and crucially, we have benefited from an extra day of rest compared to Liverpool. Arne Slot watched his Liverpool side painfully concede a late goal at Fulham on Sunday, which means they are coming into this match with one less day to recover and prepare. When you are talking about elite-level football at this stage of the season, that extra 24 hours can make a real difference to freshness and sharpness. MIKEL ARTETA has been smart with his squad rotation. Against Bournemouth, he was able to rest some key players, which means we should have a fresher lineup than Liverpool for this crucial encounter. And here is where it gets really interesting. There are some significant selection decisions to be made with players returning from rest, and others pushing to start. The Football London reporters have given us their predicted lineups, and there are some fascinating choices to discuss. Let me start with what Tom Canton has to say about the overall feeling around the club right now. He describes a really positive atmosphere going into this game. The players are in great form. We have been beating some of the best sides both home and away. And in contrast, Liverpool continue to struggle. There's extra motivation for our squad beyond just the title race. We were beaten by Liverpool earlier in the campaign, and that defeat will still sting. The players remember it, and they want revenge. But here is the crucial difference between that earlier meeting and this upcoming match. In that first game, Arsenal were missing several players who could be involved on Thursday night. Tom Canton specifically mentions that we now have a fully fit and informed Martin Odegaard available. Our captain is back to his best, pulling the strings in midfield, creating chances, and dictating the tempo of our games. Having him available makes us a completely different team. There is also Piero Hincapié, who joined Arsenal on deadline day and has not yet faced Liverpool. So this will be his first taste of this particular rivalry, and what a match to experience it. The left-back position has been an area where we have had to shuffle things around at times this season. So having Hincapié settled and ready is a big boost. Now, let me talk about the opposition and why Arsenal fans should be feeling confident. Liverpool are dealing with some absolutely massive absences. Mohamed Salah is not available, and neither is Alexander Isak. Hugo Ekitike is also potentially out. These are not just squad players we're talking about. These are key attacking influences for Liverpool. Losing Salah alone would be a huge blow for any team. But when you add Isak and potentially Ekitike to that list, Liverpool's attacking options become seriously depleted. Against Bournemouth, Arteta rested both Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard from the starting 11. This was a calculated move, and it means both of our star wingers should be fresh and firing for Liverpool. There could be a much fresher feel to Gunners compared to their counterparts who had less rest and are missing those big players I mentioned. Let me break down Tom Canton's predicted lineup for you, position by position, and explain the thinking behind each selection. In goal, David Raya continues between the sticks. No surprises there. He has been solid all season and is undoubtedly our number one. The back four is where it gets interesting. At right back, Jurrien Timber keeps his place. The Dutchman has really grown into this role, and his defensive solidity combined with his ability to step into midfield has been crucial to how we play. At center back, we have the dream partnership of William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. These two have been absolutely imperious this season. Their understanding, their physical presence, their ability to defend 1-versus-1 situations, and their composure on the ball makes them one of the best center-back partnerships in world football right now. At left back, Tom Canton is backing Piero Hincapié to continue. As I mentioned, this will be his first game against Liverpool since joining on deadline day, and it is a real test of his quality. But Arteta clearly trusts him, and that trust could be rewarded with a solid performance against top-quality opposition. Moving into midfield, this is where Arsenal have really found their rhythm in recent weeks. Tom Canton is going with a trio of Martin Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard. This combination has been in excellent form, and when your players clicking like this, you do not disrupt their rhythm. You keep them together and let them continue doing what they do best. Zubimendi has brought a real calmness and composure to our midfield since joining. His positioning, his ability to receive the ball under pressure, and his range of passing have added a new dimension to how we control games. Alongside him, Declan Rice continues to be the engine of this team. His ball winning, his progressive carrying, his leadership qualities, everything about his game has elevated Arsenal to another level. And then you have Martin Odegaard, the captain, the creator, the conductor of this Arsenal orchestra. When he is fit and firing like he is right now, Arsenal are a completely different proposition. His movement between the lines, his vision, his ability to thread passes into dangerous areas. He is the player who makes everything tick for us going forward. Now, the front three. This is where Tom Canton has made a really bold call. On the right wing, Bukayo Saka returns after being rested. This is a no-brainer. Saka is one of our most important players, and having him fresh and ready to torment Liverpool's left side is massive. On the left wing, Leandro Trossard also comes back into the starting 11. Trossard has been in brilliant form recently, scoring goals, creating chances, and his work rate and pressing from the front is so important to how Arteta wants to play. But the really interesting selection is at striker. Tom Canton is predicting Victor Gyökeres to lead the line. Now, this is a player who could bring a different dimension to Arsenal's attack. If he starts, it will be fascinating to see how he links up with Saka, Trossard, and Odegaard behind him. His physical presence, his ability to hold the ball up, his movement in the box. He offers qualities that could cause Liverpool's defense real problems. Now let me move on to Ryan Taylor's predicted lineup, because there are some differences here that are worth discussing. Ryan Taylor is anticipating just 2 changes from Arteta, assuming there are no unexpected injury twists. Like Canton, he has David Raya in goal. No debate there. In defense, Taylor also has Piero Hincapié at left back, which shows that both reporters believe he will keep his place. The back four is completed by William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Jurrien Timber. Again, this is the same defensive setup that Canton predicted, which suggests this back four is pretty much nailed on barring any late fitness issues. The midfield is where Taylor provides an important caveat. He is backing the same trio of Martin Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard to start. However, he makes a crucial point about Declan Rice. He notes that this lineup obviously assumes Rice's knee is fine, and there's been no reaction post-Bournemouth. This is something Arsenal fans will need to keep an eye on. Rice is so important to how we play that any fitness doubt around him would be a major concern. But assuming he comes through training without any issues, he should start. Taylor describes this midfield trio as being in form, and he makes a valid point that it makes no sense to disrupt their impressive rhythm. When you have 3 midfielders who understand each other's movements, who know when to press and when to hold, who can control games against top opposition, you stick with them. The attack is where Taylor's prediction differs slightly from Canton's. He is backing Leandro Trossard to come back in for Gabriel Martinelli on the left wing. This makes sense given that Trossard was rested against Bournemouth and should be fresh. On the right wing, Taylor has Bukayo Saka replacing Noni Madueke. This tells us that Madueke started against Bournemouth, which was part of Arteta's rotation plan, but now Saka is ready to return. The striker position is where Taylor's prediction gets really intriguing. He states, and I quote, "I still think Victor Gyökeres will start, even though there is definitely a strong chance Mikel Merino could lead the line." So Taylor is also backing Gyökeres to start, but he acknowledges that Merino is another option Arteta is considering for that striker role. This is fascinating because it shows Arteta has been thinking about different ways to set up his attack. Gyökeres would give you that traditional striker presence, someone who can battle with center backs, attack crosses, and provide a focal point. Merino leading the line would be more unconventional, but he has the technical quality, the movement, and the tactical intelligence to play that role if asked. Let me now talk about what this all means for Arsenal's approach to the game. Having Saka and Trossard fresh on the wings is huge. These two can stretch Liverpool's defense, create 1-versus-1 situations, and deliver quality into the box. with Odegaard pulling the strings in the middle, and either Gyökeres or Merino providing that presence up front, Arsenal have multiple ways to hurt Liverpool. The midfield battle will be crucial. Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard against whatever midfield trio Liverpool put out will likely decide the game. If Arsenal can control that central area, win the second balls, and dictate the tempo, they will create chances. Liverpool will be weakened by those absences I mentioned earlier, particularly Salah, and Arsenal need to take advantage. Defensively, having that back for Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Hincapie should give Liverpool's attack very little space to work with. Saliba and Gabriel have the pace and power to deal with whatever Liverpool throw at them, while Timber and Hincapie can tuck inside when needed or push up to support attacks. The article mentions that this match represents a great chance for Arsenal to tick off one of their trickiest remaining fixtures. And that is exactly right. Liverpool away is always difficult, but when you're playing them at home, you have that extra rest day, you have key players fresh and available, and they are missing multiple important attackers. This is a golden opportunity. Arsenal have been beating some of the best sides both home and away this season. The team is growing in confidence. The squad depth is being used intelligently by Arteta, and the players have that hunger to go all the way this season. Getting revenge for that earlier defeat to Liverpool would be sweet, but more importantly, a win here would send a message to the rest of the league. Tom Canton talks about the positive feeling around the club, and you can sense that in everything Arsenal are doing right now. The performances have been excellent. The results have been coming, and now we have a chance to put real daylight between ourselves and our rivals with a statement victory. Both reporters have gone with very similar lineups, which suggests there's a clear idea of what Arsenal's strongest 11 looks like right now. The only real debate seems to be whether Gyökeres or Merino leads the line, and potentially whether Martinelli or Trossard starts on the left. But the core of the team, that spine from Raya through Saliba and Gabriel, through Rice and Odegaard, that is settled and in top form. One thing I want to emphasize is how important squad management has been for Arsenal this season. Arteta has rotated when needed, like resting Saka and Trossard against Bournemouth, which means players are not being run into the ground. Liverpool, on the other hand, have had less rest and are dealing with those injury problems. That could be the difference in a tight match. The atmosphere at the Emirates on Thursday night is going to be electric. The fans know how important this game is. A win takes us closer to the title. A win gets revenge for that earlier defeat. A win shows that Arsenal are the real deal this season. The players will feed off that energy, and with the lineup options Arteta has available, Arsenal should be confident of getting the 3 points. So, to summarize everything we have discussed today, Arsenal face Liverpool on Thursday night in a match that could define our season. We have the advantage of extra rest. We have key players like Saka and Trossard fresh after being rested. We have a fully fit Martin Odegaard running the show, and Liverpool are missing crucial players like Salah Isaac and potentially Ekitike. Both Tom Canton and Ryan Taylor predict very similar lineups. Raya in goal, a back for Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Hincapie, a midfield trio of Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard, assuming Rice's knee is fine, and a front three of Saka, Gyökeres, and Trossard, although Merino and Martinelli are also options Arteta is considering. This is Arsenal's moment. This is when we prove we are not just contenders but champions in waiting. The team is in great form, the squad is fresh, and the opposition is weakened. Everything is set up for Arsenal to take control of this title race with a massive performance on Thursday night. Thank you for watching Arsenal Daily News. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop a comment below with your predicted lineup for the Liverpool match. Do you think Gyökeres starts? Or would you go with Merino up front? Do you agree with Trossard on the left, or would you start Martinelli? Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, stay positive, trust the process, and come on you Gunners. Arsenal Daily News, Injury Update Analysis. Hello Arsenal family, and welcome back to Arsenal Daily News. Today we have some crucial team news to discuss as the Gunners prepare for one of the biggest matches of the season. Arsenal are set to face Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium on Thursday, and we finally have clarity on who will be available for MIKEL Arteta. This is the kind of information that could shape how we approach this massive clash. So let us dive deep into what we learned from the latest training session at London Coney. First, let me set the stage for you. This match against Liverpool is absolutely enormous. Manchester City and Aston Villa are playing their matches 24 hours earlier, which means when Arsenal kick off against the champions, they will know exactly how many points they need to either increase or restore their gap at the top of the table. The pressure is on, and having your best players fit and available becomes even more critical in these situations. The good news, and there is plenty of it, is that Arsenal's injury list continues to decrease. MIKEL ARTETA led the final training session on Wednesday morning, and when those training pictures emerged, fans could breathe a sigh of relief. The squad looked strong, focused, and ready for battle. But as always with football, it is never quite perfect, and we do have 3 notable absentees to discuss. Let me start with the positives, because they are significant. Gabriel Magalhaes and Declan Rice are both back fit and available. These 2 players returning to full fitness is hugely important for Arsenal. We saw just how crucial they are in the 3-2 victory over Bournemouth. Both players were on target in that match, showing that they are not just back, but they are back in form and ready to make an impact. In those training images from Wednesday, both Gabriel and Declan Rice looked incredibly focused. You could see the determination in their preparation, and that is exactly what you want to see before a match of this magnitude. Now, there was a moment of concern during the day when Christian Norgard was absent from the initial training photos that emerged. Fans started to worry, wondering if Arsenal had picked up yet another injury. But thankfully, those fears were quickly put to rest. Norgard was later spotted in the training video that was uploaded to Arsenal's official website. So that is one concern we can cross off the list. The summer signing is fit and available, and he will almost certainly be handed more minutes this month. With FA Cup and Champions League games coming up, those matches represent the perfect chance for Arteta to rotate his squad and keep everyone fresh for the title race. But let's talk about the 3 players who were genuinely absent from training, and these absences are the ones we need to pay attention to. The first 2 are defenders, and they are missing for the same reason: injury. Ricardo Calafiori and Christian Mosquera were not spotted in any of the training pictures, and that is because both have been ruled out of Thursday's clash with Liverpool. Now, before Arsenal fans start to panic, there is some encouraging news from Mikel Arteta himself. When asked about these 2 defenders, the manager suggested they could be back pretty soon. In his own words, he said that they have to go to the last stage of their rehabilitation, and if everything goes well, hopefully very soon they will be available for selection. So while losing 2 defenders is never ideal, especially for a match against Liverpool, it sounds like these are short-term issues rather than anything that will keep them out for an extended period. The absence of these 2 defenders does create some interesting questions about how Arteta will set up his backline against Liverpool. With Calafiori and Mosquera unavailable, the manager will need to rely on his other defensive options. But given that Gabriel Magalhaes is back to full fitness and looked sharp in training, Arsenal should still have enough quality at the back to handle Liverpool's attacking threat. The 3rd player absent from training is Max Dowman, and he is also missing because of injury. Dowman is a well-known Arsenal star, and his absence will be noted by fans. However, given the depth of the squad and the options available to Arteta, this is something the team should be able to manage. Now let me talk about one of the most interesting storylines heading into this Liverpool match: the situation with Kai Havertz. Despite not being named in the matchday squad that beat Bournemouth 3-2 last weekend, Havertz was captured out on the grass during Wednesday's training session. This is significant because it suggests he is very close to being available for selection. The reason for his absence at the Vitality Stadium was load management. Arteta has been very careful with Havertz, and he explained his thought process behind that decision and future ones he will have to make. According to the manager, they are monitoring Havertz's load very closely. He pointed out that the player has been out for a long time for 2 different reasons, and now that he is close to returning, they want to make sure they get the best version of Kai Havertz. Arteta mentioned that Havertz trained on Wednesday morning, and hopefully they're going to have him available for the Liverpool match. This is huge news for Arsenal because Havertz brings something special to the team. His physical presence, his ability to link up play, and his knack for being in the right place at the right time make him a valuable asset, especially in big matches like this one. Let me now give you some context about why this Liverpool match is so important and what Arsenal are up against. Liverpool are described in this report as the champions, which tells you everything you need to know about the quality of opposition Arsenal are facing. This is not just another Premier League match. This is a potential title decider, a clash between two of the best teams in England. Speaking of Liverpool, they have their own injury concerns to deal with. Mohamed Salah is still away at the Africa Cup of Nations with Egypt, which is a massive boost for Arsenal. Salah is one of the most dangerous attackers in world football, and not having to face him makes Arsenal's defensive task considerably easier. That is not to say Liverpool will be easy to beat without him, but his absence is definitely something Arsenal can take advantage of. Liverpool also looks set to be without other players. Hugo Ekitike missed their 2-2 draw with Fulham and could be out again. The Liverpool boss, Arne Slot, confirmed on Wednesday morning that Ekitike has not trained with them until now, though he would see if he could train that day. Slot mentioned that when they played Fulham, Ekitike was not going to be out for long, but as games come too fast, it is difficult to get players back to full fitness quickly. So Liverpool are dealing with their own availability issues, which levels the playing field somewhat. Both teams are managing injuries and trying to field their strongest possible lineups for what promises to be an epic encounter at the Emirates Stadium. One more piece of important team news for Arsenal. Changes to the starting 11 from the last clash are expected. Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard are both set to return to the starting lineup after making cameo appearances off the bench in the win over the Cherries. This is significant because both players bring different qualities to the team. Saka's pace, creativity, and goal threat from the right wing make him one of Arsenal's most important players. Trossard's versatility and ability to play in multiple positions give Arteta tactical flexibility. Having both of them starting against Liverpool means Arsenal can be more attacking and aggressive. It means the team will have more creative options and more ways to break down Liverpool's defense. This is exactly what Arsenal need in a match of this importance. Let me take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. Arsenal are in the middle of a genuine title race. The fact that they will know the results of Manchester City and Aston Villa's matches before they kick off adds an extra layer of intrigue. If City drop points, Arsenal could extend their lead. If City win, Arsenal will know they need to match that result to maintain their position. This is a kind of pressure that defines championship seasons. The return of Gabriel and Declan Rice could not have come at a better time. These are two players who bring leadership quality and experience to the team. Gabriel is a commanding presence at the back, a defender who can dominate opposing strikers and organize a defensive line. Declan Rice is a midfielder who can do everything: win the ball back, start attacks, score goals, and control the tempo of matches. Having both of them fit and firing is crucial for Arsenal's title hopes. The fact that both players scored against Bournemouth is a bonus. It shows they are not just back from injury, but they are back in top form. Goals from defenders and midfielders are always welcome because they take pressure off the forwards and show that the team has multiple goal threats throughout the lineup. The situation with Kai Havertz is one to watch closely. If he is indeed available for Liverpool, Arteta will have a big decision to make. Does he start Havertz immediately, or does he bring him off the bench? Given that load management was a reason for his absence against Bournemouth, you would think Arteta might ease him back into action. But this is Liverpool we are talking about. This is a match where you want your best players on the pitch from the first whistle. My guess is that Arteta will assess Havertz in training right up until match day and make a decision based on how he looks physically. If Havertz shows he is ready for the full intensity of a match against Liverpool, I would not be surprised to see him start. His presence in the team changes the dynamic, especially in the attacking third. The defensive injuries to Calafiori and Mosquera are a concern, but Arteta's comments suggest optimism. The fact that they are in the last stage of rehabilitation means they are close to returning. For this specific match, Arsenal will have to make do without them, but in the grand scheme of a long season with multiple competitions, having them back soon is positive news. What makes this even more interesting is the schedule Arsenal face. With FA Cup matches and Champions League games on the horizon, squad depth becomes increasingly important. This is why the return of players like Christian Norgard matters. This is why managing Kai Havertz's minutes matters. This is why having Gabriel and Declan Rice back matters. Arsenal need everyone available and fresh if they're going to compete on multiple fronts. Looking at Liverpool's injury situation, the absence of Mohamed Salah is the headline. He is their best player, their main goal threat, and the player who makes so much of their attacking play work. Arsenal's defense, with Gabriel back and commanding the back line, will face a different challenge without Salah to worry about. That said, Liverpool are still an incredibly dangerous team. They did not become champions by relying on one player, no matter how brilliant that player is. The uncertainty around Hugo Ekitike's availability adds another layer to Liverpool's preparations. Arne Slot's comments suggest he is hopeful, but not certain about getting Ekitike back. The fact that games are coming thick and fast makes it difficult for players to recover fully between matches. This is a challenge every top team faces during the congested winter period. As we build up to this match, the narrative is clear. Arsenal, with their injury list decreasing and key players returning, are in a strong position. Liverpool, dealing with the absence of Salah and potential other injury concerns, are still formidable but perhaps slightly weakened. The match at the Emirates Stadium promises to be an absolute thriller. For Arsenal fans watching this, the message is one of cautious optimism. The team news is mostly positive. Yes, there are 3 players absent, but 2 of them should be back soon, and the third is being managed carefully to ensure he returns at his best. The return of Gabriel and Declan Rice is massive. The expected return of Saka and Trossard to the starting lineup is exciting, and the possibility of having Kai Havertz available adds even more quality to the squad. This is what title races are made of. Big matches, injury concerns, tactical decisions, and the need for squad depth. Arsenal are navigating this challenge well, and Thursday's match against Liverpool will tell us a lot about their genuine championship credentials. It is going to be intense, it is going to be dramatic, and it is going to be unmissable. Make sure you are tuned in to Arsenal Daily News for all the post-match analysis once the final whistle blows. Thank you for watching, and come on you Gunners. Let's get this massive win against Liverpool.